All right, YouTube, my name is CarQ. It's been almost 2 weeks since the Overwatch season has began. There's been a couple of patch changes and some perk changes this season, but we're going to be back checking out the best perks for every hero, or at least the most voted perks or most common ones. I don't know about best, but these are certainly the ones that are popular based on the people that are voting. Based on this website, it is called owperks.com. Shout out to the creator. And what you do is you go on the site and then you vote for the perk that you take on the hero. I've done this a few times now on this channel, and like I kind of realized after a certain time, some people like to just vote for stuff that's popular. It's like a vote by popular, just because they see a high percentage, they may be inclined to pick it. I'm going to opt not to vote for any of the heroes I genuinely don't play, but probably a lot hasn't changed for most heroes except a couple of new ones. So we'll try to skim through it. So let us begin with D.Va. I don't touch D.Va, like I said, but I do know the best perks, which are extended boosters. I think this is a 100% of the time. I'm surprised it's only 82, but extended boosters, getting longer boosters every time, super good. The fact that shield system is only 49% is insane. Most people prefer DPS, but I think in the high end, so many people, if they're ahead or they don't get enough resources from their supports, they all take shield system. When you combine the extra healing from projectiles plus your initiator sub roll, you heal so much on D.Va. It's crazy. You can argue you don't take this if none of the enemy heroes play like any hit scans or projectiles to eat, so understandably precision fusing is an option, but if it looks like you have to eat like a decent amount of projectiles from the enemy team, like you should always take shield system. That's my opinion. Okay, Domina. I do play Domina. I got a vote right now. I definitely take extended power. That's for sure. I like this a lot better, just for the range. And then for the major perk, I actually started taking power move way more, because this beats my weakness. The crystal charge explosion slows only after it blows up, and they're usually standing in it long enough anyways. I take power move as like my safety measure if like they start playing brawl or anybody that goes past my shield. It's a way to kind of survive until I die reasonably, where I can actually swap off the hero if it's not working anymore. Disruptive detonation is something I used to take in the Domina mirrors when Domina was played every game, but now that she's not played every game, I don't take it as much as I used to. Okay, Doom I don't play, but Survival of the Fittest and Power Matrix. Power Matrix should be 100%, by the way. Survival of the Fittest is also like nearly 100% by high level Dooms. Same with Power Matrix. Survivability is key. Now, Hazard. I do play Hazard. Pro players, oops, I ended up clicking Deep Leap. I was actually going to pick Anarchic Zeal. All the pros take Deep Leap, 15% extra range, but like I looked at the practice range for the Deep Leap range. It's actually like not that big of a difference. I mean, 15%. Other contexts in Overwatch is a lot, but I looked at the Hazard range. It's a little bit rigged vote here, yeah, but I'm not convinced this is as good as people make it out to be. I actually think Anarchic Zeal is slept on, mostly because I looked at the lifesteal you actually get. A, you get ult charge from the lifesteal, and B, if you hold block the lifesteal off a single target, if they're standing in it for like not even a reason, like even just like 1 second, you heal like 60 HP back, which is actually quite a bit. So if you're actually ever blocking in front of 2 or 3 people, you're healing an extra 1 to 200 HP, and you're getting that equivalent exchange and ult charge. I think this one is my more popular one. If I'm getting like pocketed like crazy and I get a lot of resources as Hazard, I don't have to take this. I can greed more with Deep Leap, but I actually think this one's slept on. But then for the major, it's almost always explosive impalements. Like the lethality is so important. Okay, for Jungle Queen, I always take Rampant Charge. Only I ever take Battle Shout if they don't have any CC or knockbacks. Savage Satiation's the big winner now. I do take this. The lifesteal is quite nice on the axe, but I actually take Willy Willy like 50-50 now. I think in the previous seasons, I used to take Savage. I was surprised when I did OW perks like 3 seasons ago and everybody was taking Willy Willy. So I tried it out and I actually think this is pretty good. It gives you the chance to actually like confirm a kill onto squishies with a 30 extra impact damage. And if not, like you actually hitting multiple people with extra bleeds, I like it a lot more than people give it credit for. But both are good. Mauga, I don't touch. Oh, let me vote for this here. Today, I literally took Willy Willy today, so I'll vote for it because I played her today and I took Rampant Charge, so I'll vote this. I'll also vote for this. Mauga, I don't play, but Pyromaniac is the popular one with Firewalker, double fire, play it with Anran, really good. Orisa, everybody takes mobile fortification, myself included. And then the major one, this is crazy. People don't like losing the spin for the shield. You'd think shield is more popular, but it's not. Charge Javelin is actually not even that good. This is the only hero in the game where some pros were not even picking the perk because you didn't want to lose the spin in exchange for the javelin, because charging it also messes up the timing of the javelin and stuff like that. When you hold it, it like auto launches after a certain bit or something like that. It's a bit jank, and some people just don't want to lose the spin for the shield, excuse me. So like people don't even take it unless they sit on it and wait for a comp that it makes sense to actually take the barrier. Anyways, Ramattra. So Ramattra was one of the heroes with the perk changes because they added the base kit of the Ravenous what's it called? Whatever, the thing that pops and pulls people down. I forgot the name of the ability. So Prolonged Barrier was the new choice instead of Void Surge. And what's crazy is that Ramattra, I think, is better, but some people were arguing that Ramattra was actually worse despite having a detonatable E, Ravenous Vortex, that was the name of it, it came back to me, because they lost Void Surge on the minor and moved it to a major. Getting the minor Void Surge was such a big power spike for Ramattra players because it actually made his like mage form really lethal in the minor, but now that it's stuck on a major, he's not strong in that form till much later, until this perk comes online. At the end of the day, Prolonged Barrier is the popular one. I have played some Ram since, and I do think this one's better. I think this Nemesis form, Relentless form, is kind of a waste, because if you're already getting a kill, the extra second on it is not going to do anything. You pop your ult as like a stall mechanic in a lot of cases, and if you kill them, you're already killing them and you already won the team fight. The extra second isn't that important, versus just having a stronger barrier or bigger barrier every time. And then Void Surge is just so good that you just might as well take this, and it sucks that it got lost on the minor, excuse me. I'm repeating myself, but the point stands. This was such a good minor perk before, and now it's on major. It's tough for him despite the base kit changes. Reinhardt, Crusader's Resolve is like 100% take all the time. Ignited Fury having 59% is still crazy to me. Every high elo Rein, who's still trying to make him work in high ranks, takes Shield Slam because it's an extra movement. Rein's biggest weakness in super high ranks is gap closing and like getting spaced out by people who know how to play out of his range. So having a form of movement is too good to pass up at the high end. A, you have to hit a fire strike, and B, the attack speed. Like if you're gonna get swung on twice, you're already probably dead. The attack speed is not even that crazy. The fact that it's 59% is insane to me. This should be like 100% take in higher elo. So if you're a low elo Rein looking to become a high elo Rein, you should practice with Shield Slam, even though you can probably greed more with Ignited Fury in that rank. In any case, Roadhog's another hero who got new perks. I think I like Scrap Hook as well, personally. That being said, I think some pros were trying, some high elo Roadhogs are trying Shrapnel Launcher because they're good enough that they don't waste, they have good ammo management, so the chain hook not having that isn't as necessary, and they like the lethality of Shrapnel Launcher. So this one might be slept on for more people. And then the new one, Hydrogen Exposure versus Pull Pork. This is the new one where Take a Breather actually heals a teammate. If you're always off angling, like this is pointless because there's going to be no nearby allies for you. I think if you play like a reasonable hog in 5v5, kind of with the team looking for picks, like this is still not a bad take. Pull Pork for your own survivability if you're like playing by yourself, but this is a good team perk, but I'm not going to vote because I don't play it. Sigma, Hyper Regeneration is a 100% pick for me. I think the fact that it's constantly like getting shield uptime to cycle is more important than greeting for extra accretions. Maybe you can do this in like a very specific matchup, but the only time I ever swap and play Sig is if I can have like, you know, block and nullify stuff for my team. Like I think this is 100% take all the time. Hyperstrike being 62% by the community is crazy. Almost every high elo Sigma takes Levitation. I know it's based on maps, but like just taking a new angle and taking space like that is just something that's not really like appreciated by most average players. But Levitation is so good to take new angles. You can jump over, like literally as a Rein was coming for me, I literally just floated over his head and just like went over. And then now what does he do? He can't reach me anymore. So protect you from getting booped off the map. You play Sig on any map that you're gonna get like, you play against Ball or Lucio who wants to like push you off high ground and want to rush into you, Levitation is just too strong. The thing with Hyperstrike is if the punch knockback was up more often, it'd be really good, but like you don't always have it available, which kind of sucks, but yeah. Winston, Electric Charge being super popular is, I think, a good choice. I think some like pro Winston players will go for Primal Rage Heavy Landing to make sure there's lethality on the ultimate, but 99% of players are not primaling correctly anyways with proper damage and juggling, so this is probably the safer, and it's still a really good perk option for him. And then for Chain Lightning versus Revitalizing Barrier, most people take the Revitalizing Barrier, super good for team play. That being said, I think I played a Gibraltar game like literally last week, and there's a Winston like spawn camping us. Their whole team was kind of just already winning, so I don't know if this perk was specifically because they were already rolling and they're kind of just trying some new stuff, but that zap was genuinely so annoying to deal with because we were constantly clumped in spawn. This is something to experiment with. I actually think Chain Lightning might be a bit slept on, mostly because I was on the receiving end of getting constantly, I'm like not even playing, I'm playing Ana scoped in, and all of a sudden I'm getting zapped by a Winston out of LOS simply because my tank was not moving up and playing so close to me. He got zapped and then I got zapped as a result. I'm like, bro, this one might be slept on based on my single anecdote and single game, so I don't know. Anyways, most people take Revitalizing Barrier. Anyways, Wrecking Ball. Ooh, Extra Minefield Multi-Ball. The more powerful one in 5v5. Genuinely though, 6v6, you should actually take Stream Roller. I think this is actually so annoying. Constantly rolling around and being good with this onto 2 tanks is inherently more value in 6v6, but yeah, 5v5 multi-ball, great. Adaptive Barrier seems to be the 100% take. The fact that it's 30% is crazy to me. Adaptive Barrier to survive it. Like I said, you see the trend in high elo that like everybody takes stuff that helps them survive because it's way more important with target focus and everything. And the longer you're hanging in the air, even though you're greeting for more damage here in a sense, but at the same time, the longer air time means you actually get punished with easier sleep darts and you get shot in the sky longer and stuff. And when you land, you don't have an adaptive barrier. You just die more often. Like if ball gets a good slam, like you already get amazing value. But yeah. Okay, Zarya. Interesting. 85% on spotter. This should be like way less, 25%. I'm not saying you never take spotter, but this is specifically with like Reaper or like somebody like you really need to protect. If anything, I actually think most Zarya's greed for jump ups, even on maps that you don't really need it. The movement, every map has like an area where the jump ups can be useful to just like rectify one of her weaknesses, which is range and people playing high ground away from Zarya. The fact that you can just like chase anybody with jump ups is so good. I think jump ups is really good. I play some Zarya. I take this 75% of the time. Spotter only with like Reaper. And Genji, like that's it. Okay, and then for the major, it's 100% extra oomph for me. I don't think the energy lens pierce is that useful because they have to be clumped up perfectly for this to be reasonably consistent. It's not consistent enough where enemies are always conveniently lined up for you for the pierce to be meaningful. When I'm beaming someone down, they're literally like gonna be strafing. What's the chance of the other person behind them mirroring the strafe perfectly? Not really. They're going to be moving around, getting beamed. Like the lineup is not consistent enough. Extra oomph always for more energy. Yeah, piercing's only really good inside grab specifically, but at that point, if you grab them, they're probably dead with a good grab regardless. And then you walk up and you secondary fire into a melee anyways, if you're up in their face, or you beam someone who's like really squishy down into some secondary fire. So yeah. Now we have the damage hero, Sierra. This is the new addition. Interesting to see here. What do we got? Full flight versus tight grip. Yeah, it's a tight grip angle. I always take tight grip and locked in for the DPS. I think I mentioned this before. Full flight and medi drone are inherently flawed because the drone is still kind of bad. They gave it more HP now, but the fact that it can just die randomly means it's just, I don't know. I just don't think it's that good. I just think you just take the DPS options for now. I think they kind of redo the perks a little bit. That being said, they made one offensive defensive. So maybe specifically for like play styles, it could be good, but yeah. Okay, Anran. I have seen some heat. I think this is a good distribution. 75-25 is pretty good. It's like for every 3 on-runs, I'll see the heat shield. Remember how I mentioned high elo prioritizes survivability? Having a good ultimate be consistent is actually pretty good, and even when you res and stuff. But Smolder is such 1.5 second extra burn is so good for DPS, so it's hard to pass up. And then for the updated one, interesting. People are still taking Hungering Blaze despite it being added to the base kit. That's surprising to me. I mean, I played like 2 games of on-run, and I've seen some on-runs. I feel like they're just having extra movement rushes by like tapping into people is a higher priority for higher elo on-runs. I think this one's better. The fact that you're already healing on Hungering Blaze in the base kit, even though it's less, is enough, and you take the extra movement, so it's never off cooldown. I would personally take this, but maybe I'm wrong on this. I wish I had more data to back it up, or more like anecdotes, but yeah. Ashe, I think remote detonator is taken almost 100% of the time in my experience. That one's good. Viper Sting's still amazing as well with, what's it called, extra DPS. Nothing to be said there. Bastion, this is 100% configuration artillery. The extra artilleries when you swap forms. That being said, it's 4 seconds now. It got nerfed. They used to be instant. The Bastion is so freaking annoying when he nades, swap forms, and nades you again. Like, it's genuinely, that was like one of the strongest things. But in any case, this feels like 100% still despite the nerf. When you're popping your ultimate, you kind of just like hide anyways before you do it. So yeah, there's that. Then for the ultimate, I think self-repair for survivability is way more important. I have seen some Lindholm explosives. If you're really greedy and you have a team that's like literally pocketing and helping you out, you obviously lose the shield break, because this is better if they have no shields because it's slower and it's burstier for backlines. But if you need to rip apart like a Sig, Ram, or a like Rhine shield, you don't take this specifically. For Cassidy, it's like 100% bang bang, and then a silver bullet being 74% is, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I play with Wanted a lot recently. We queued some, and he's a Cassidy player. He actually takes rolling up roundup a decent bit. Again, this is good if you're like kind of like not like if you're sort of off angling, and sometimes you can have your own resources with the heal. It's actually pretty good if you have 6 empty bullets. You heal like 100 HP, or not 100, like 80 something HP. 15 times 6, what is that? 90. God, I'm so bad at math. Silver bullet, obviously a good DPS button, but like sometimes you don't want to lose fan the hammer, is what he said. Specifically, let's say like a Winston jumping in. Do you know how important it is to break Winston bubble? Like a Winston whose bubble never breaks is just so strong. But like if you have a Cass who takes silver bullet in the Winston matchup, that's a no-no. He jumps you as a Cassidy and you take rolling up roundup, no problem. Fan the hammer, roll, heal 90, fan the hammer, and that does like 600 damage to the Winston bubble instantly. That's one matchup you never take silver bullet. That's an example for sure, but silver bullet's a nice greedy, and it's a fun ability, so I get why people take it. Echo, partial scan, her ultimate's even stronger this season. This got changed because Echo can like low-key copy a teammate now. She can copy teammate's ultimate, Partial scan feels like it's insanely strong, so you should take that. Full salvo, 96%. Yeah, might as well be 100. Full salvo, so strong. Emre, enhanced agility and has now taken over suppressive security. People have realized they don't really need the slow on the override protocol because they're dead anyways, because you open with a heavy into a couple of lights. The projectile fires fast enough that they never run out of range anyways. They probably just died at the massive AoE of it. So you just take the agility to reposition and to like move around. So we just take that. That's good. Heat sink only being 71% is insane. It should still be 100%. Even though they nerfed it, it's such a crazy survivability button. When any tanks jump at you, you just take this. Nullify any weakness, and its DPS is like pretty good if you're just spamming the shit out of it too. Losing the bounce on the cyber adhesion sucks ass, even though it does more if you land the stick, but yeah, people just like the regular frags. So Freja, I have not touched Freja in a hot minute. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna trust what these people are taking. I don't even know what you're supposed to take on her anymore. So there you go. Looks like Relentless Barrage and Momentum is kind of split. Aerial Recovery definitely seems to be a bit more popular for self-sustain. Okay, we have Genji. I've actually seen, I just played with Agilities last week, who was an old Overwatch 1 pro player, and he's Genji main, and he's been experimenting. He's someone with a fresh set of eyes on this season. He just started again right now, and he's got a fresh set of eyes on these perks. And I was like, okay, what's your honest opinion? Nobody like influencing your decision. He actually likes swift cuts. I was like, okay. He'll take Dragon's Thirst if he has no nano. But since he was playing with me the whole time when we duoed, I just gave him nano. He doesn't need Dragon's Thirst. Could be pretty good though to turn things around. But yeah, if you have nano, you don't need this. If you're just like naked blading, but if you recognize that's your win con, like you have no lethal like DPS ults, you should probably take this to make sure your blade gets good value. But like this is so good in the neutral. And then blade twisting for sure. I don't think people take the meditation specifically. I remember I made the argument earlier in the video where I'm like, yeah, you need survivability, blah, blah, and all these heroes. But like, I think Deflect already does the job and you just dash out if it looks dicey. Hanzo, base dude. I think everybody's taking Sonic Disruption right now. The fact that it's hacking health packs, crazy to me. It's so annoying. I'm going for the health pack on like Route 66 attack and I'm like, dude, why is it hacked? They don't even have a freaking Sombra, and it's because Hanzo's in there controlling that room. Super annoying. And then Frost Arrow, low key, I feel like I haven't been hit by a Frost Arrow in a long time. Are people even taking this in high elo? I actually have not pressed tab and looked at their major perk in a while. Probably it's the better one based on the vote, but like some of the votes I don't agree with at all, but hey, you know, whatever. We'll say Frost Arrow is the right one. Interesting how Bomb Voyage is the more interesting one. After launching Conch Mine, Junk gains attack speed. The thing with good Junkrats in high elo is that if they're hitting you with the first shot, the mine is the finisher. The attack speed is negligible because they're already dead. So I think everybody that I know, they take nitro boost. I know you lose some damage, but like if you could just guarantee it on the squishy, it's only 300 damage now, but you don't go for the tank. It still kills squishies as long as it's close enough. And I think most of them take it to guarantee better value on nitro boost, if I'm not mistaken. And then for the major, wow, people just take frag cannon. Yeah, because like with mine recycling, eliminations with the mine, that's the finisher, you're most likely not killing two people. It's usually one person who gets caught out, so the extra mine isn't necessary. So this one's not that popular. People just take the better neutral frag cannon. Very good. Okay, for Mei, it should be 100% glacial propulsion. I don't think you ever take skating rink. Allies within this gain speed. The speed, why do you don't need speed and healing when their enemies are already frozen. They are dead. The teammates are going to stand still and just try to shoot the person that's frozen. You don't need skating rink. Glacial propulsion for extra movement. Creating a small pillar to block shit for your team is actually low-key like a crazy play. Like imagine this, as a Mei, you don't have to like try to wall off like a freaking Reinhardt. You can just chill, and if you feel like the shadow's coming, you just jump at the right time, and then bang, you create a little pillar. Imagine your teammates right behind you, and that pillar actually saves them too. It's crazy because it blocks it for them. Okay, and then for the major perk, we have Deep Freeze. Low-key, I feel like I don't actually see this one, believe it or not. I think it's because like I don't think people stand in her like primary range that long anyways. So I actually feel like more people are taking Cryo Storm in my experience with Meis, but like I don't play against very many Meis, so maybe I don't have a good grasp on what's collectively good. But this is just the community choice, so there you go. I'm just offering my insight based on my experience and anecdotes here. Oh my god, yes, Concussive Force was the new change. Dude, I watched some matches today. I was talking to Hydron today, another former pro player, and I think all of them are taking Concussive Force. Extra damage on Conk is crazy. Very good. And then Rocket Salvo is the 100% take for extra DPS after you come out of it. Pharah's so good on like Lijiang Tower right now. Very, very good. Reaper, Lingering Wraith. Yeah, movement speed, too strong. Like the Soul Globes is nice, but like if you're snowballing, you might not even need the Soul Globe for extra heals because he already has He's already very bulky, and he has Wraith, and he already has like passive lifesteal, right? So yeah. Anyways, and then for the what's it called? For the major trigger finger, instead of, because dire triggers is now added into his base kit, right? So being able to have extra dire triggers to improve his lethality at mid range or as a finisher, super good. I think Reaper has one of the highest win rates right now in all ranks, even in super high elo. He's like top 3. Reaper's really good. Sojourn, wow, this is 100%. Overcharge is always 100% take for high elo players. Deceleration field, if you can't land your shots, sure, but you should get used to playing with this if you want to get better. Like, I think when people watch these kinds of videos, like, you want to know what people are doing to like at the high end, because you want to attain that, you want to be better. So like, you should probably try taking the stuff that's like really good. And then dual thrusters, extra survivability, we take that. Very good. Soldier. I've tried tactical salvo, but like I actually don't like it that much. I think the helix projectile speed to confirm kills on like tricky matchups, like hitting the tracer or hitting like, I don't know, like a Mercy or like a Juno flying, like hitting like a faster helix gives them less time to react. It just takes some getting used to the new speed, but if you get used to this, I think this is pretty good. I personally like this one. I take that one. And then now that his base kit allows you to reload while running, I guess people aren't really valuing the base movement speed. I've only personally been taking stim pack, and that's what I've seen people do. So you can keep sprinting, reloading on an angle, and then pop the stim, etc., etc. Okay. Sombra, what do we got? Control Alt Escape. Okay, they nerfed her this patch too. She loses some movement speed if she gets like revealed for a second. Interesting. And then viral replication. This one seems like a no-brainer. I don't know about encrypted upload. Yeah, a successful hack increases stealth. Usually if you go for the hack, you're already out of stealth and you use your other abilities like your virus and stuff to confirm a kill. You're not like hacking and then going back to stealth that often. That's usually not the playstyle that seems to be the most effective. So I think this makes sense too. Okay, Symmetra. Extra charge versus range reminds me of Domina. I think range is always good. I don't really see hovering very much. It's definitely shield battery in my experience. There's situations where this could be good to block, but yeah. Torb, hammer versus molten core activating overload. Yeah, this one makes sense. This one's good. And then more people take anchor bolts with sneaky turrets. Agreed. Tracer, kinetic reload. This is 100% take by all, maybe like 99% take by all high elo tracers if I'm not mistaken. It's annoying. I thought when they first changed it, oh, they'll get used to the new blink distance, but like the fact that you never run out of ammo when you're like, if you already memorize a 7.5 meter blink distance or 7 meter blink distance, you never run out of ammo if you can always blink melee. And the good tracers know the perfect range every time, which helps them confirm way more kills. So I think it's still 100% take here. This one I'm not really sure. It seems to be pretty split. I do think most tracers that I know take quantum entanglement. If they're managing their health well, they go to a health pack here and there. They're usually out of the fight, that the extra blink may be not necessary in a bit because they're already recharging it. But this is a good active team fighting. Same with kinetic reload. So I think they really enjoy those two. I say this is a non-tracer player, by the way. Vendetta got some major nerfs. Vendetta's been like brought into the back of the barn and has been shot down pretty rough this patch. She's at like a low 40% win rate right now. But in any case, Projected Edge versus Raging Storm. I actually think most Vendettas take extra edge. While you do 30 extra damage, the longer spin, you don't want to be stuck in an animation for too long for like very little damage. You know what I mean? I feel like I've played against some Vendettas. I don't feel like I'm on the receiving end of this. I'm not gonna lie, I don't press tab and look at their perks as often as I should, but I feel like they're always taking this because I don't ever remember a recent Vendetta that spins for extra time. Or if anything, they're canceling it early and they're like leaving with like another ability right after. So it's like, if you're gonna just be like going in really quickly and getting out, like just, you don't need this spin. They nerf Relentless a lot, I know, because it used to be way more movement speed and attack speed. So it looks like Siphoning Strike for some lifesteal. It does heal a pretty chunky bit, so that's good, especially since they cut her HP a little bit. Oh no, they rebuffed that last week on the hotfix patch. I take it back, but still, this seems pretty good. Venture, Excavation, Exhilaration. This, I don't see many Ventures. I think I've seen one in ranked, and I do not remember their perks. But the last time I remember seeing Venture in OWCS, they took Excavation, Exhilaration while they were popping their ultimate. They constantly kept drill dashing. They just made infinite space with this. So I think this is good. Drill dash is longer when burrowed. This actually couldn't, on paper, this doesn't seem that bad, but I wish I had more opinions to give you for this. I don't think you ever take covered in dirt. You always take smart extender. Like, who cares about melee extra shields? How often are you in their face meleeing? They're already dead if you shoot them into a drill dash into a shot. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Widow, scope deficiency, that makes sense. And then Widow's Bite for the chance of lethality. What's interesting is that like when people first heard this perk, they overreacted, but are people really ever lining up for the Pierce? Not really. You mostly just make use of the 125% if you're gonna be sniping a tank, because this makes it go to like 400 damage or something, right? which is really, really good on some squishy tanks. So yeah. All right, let's go to the supports. Okay, speed serum, guys. I was like, yeah, I used to say take it against Ball, take it against Doom, but like, I just think speed, like instead of doing this to counter a Ball or Doom, just always play for the win con nano boost. I'm taking speed serum 100% of the time. I don't think I ever take Groggy now. And I think, I think in the old perk videos, I used to be like, yeah, you could take biotic bounce in those tough matchups, but like, nah, if it happens, I'm dead. But the potential of the headshot to just like swing fights outside of just getting jumped here and there is just too good to pass up. And if you sleep a target by themselves, you can kill them yourself without pinging a teammate going like, oh my God, they're sleeping over here. Please help. No, you just walk up to the slept target, unscope shot into their head for 150, into a nade, into a melee. You kill them yourself. Baptiste. I mean, I'm a Baptiste main. One of used to be my main. Wow, 55% of people taking the extra immortality field. I don't think you need this. I'm still a big believer of assault burst. You don't need the extra range. If you have a decent lamp, the value is in the first 1 second of throwing it down to save them anyways. So like, the range is like, what's it called? Lost value. I think this is just much better in the neutral. Whenever you pop regen burst, if you're popping regen burst, that means there's an active team fight probably happening. So the improved attack speed goes for both your weapon damage and the healing, the rate at which your heals come out. So it's like good. It should be picked way more than, I think I experimented with expanded field for like 2 games and I was instantly convinced assault burst is just way better. Automated healing being 80%. Now, I would say this should be a 60-40 split. I value Rocket Boot survivability and high elo, but honestly, if you're literally untouched in the backline, which I assume most people who vote for this on this website are untouched on Baptiste, which is why they value just free healing. Free healing onto like, this is actually a really good, it used to be a minor perk, and this was an auto take every time. But the fact that you can just randomly heal like some tough healer, like people like Tracer, Genjis on your team, or Echoes that are in the sky if you happen to play BAP with those DPS heroes. The fact that it just auto heals them is so good. But that being said, it should be a bit lower and more situational, which is good. I don't think a perk ever should be 100 to 0. Like every time earlier when I was like, this is 100 to 0, you should definitely like, that should be a perk they should adjust. But in any case, Rocket Boot survivability is so good on certain matchups as well. So this one's not super situational, but really good as well. So I think both are great options, to be fair. Brig. Wow, morale boost seems to be really, really strong. Wow, I didn't even know that was her perk, I'm to be honest with you. I forgot Brig's perk because I don't touch this hero. Whip shot, yeah, having a longer inspire is so nice for sure. And then situationally, the 80-20 split seems pretty nice. This got updated though. Melee attacks against enemies reduce the cooldown of repair pack by 0.75. That could be sneakily good too, to be honest with you. If there's always somebody to swing at and you don't feel like there's a lot of downtime, matchup specific, this could be pretty good. The major, I don't think I've seen anybody take Whiplash. It's too situational, too hard to get that perfect lineup. Like when someone's jumping you, you just whip them. You're not really thinking, like you try to go for the instant whip, you're not really trying to line up anything perfectly. So what's it called? Inspiring Strike, too strong. Take that one. Illari, wow. 37% rapid construction. This is 100% take for me, Summer Solstice. You just literally pop your ultimate, you can just taste the sunrise and you just stay in the air for as long as you can because people are always worried about that threat. It's like a 3 seconds of extra zoning that this hero can do. Too strong to ever pass up. And then I've tried the solar flare here and there. I keep giving it a shot, but like the burst healing, I don't know. I don't think it's as good as just being able to just burn someone instantly. Any flanker instantly has to respect this. Any Genji Tracer, like Illari's weakness, one of her weaknesses is getting jumped by somebody and they have to respect this damage, especially if they're squishy. Maybe not so much in the tank, but this is too good to pass up. I think I always take Sunburn. Okay, Jetpack Cat. Ulterior Motive was that new replacement perk. 96%. I mean, I played like 5 games of Cat since. I just take this one. Transport Shielding though, interesting, because I think OWCS Korea last week literally played Jetpack Cat plus like Bastion or something. I have to double check what perk they took, but low key, if you have a maybe specific strat set up, you could argue for this. But I think for solo queue, 99% of Cat players here, you just take Ulterior Motive, and then 99% of people, yeah, just take Claws out. Headbutt is too inconsistent to make sense. It's got updated, but I just don't think it's very good. It's not consistent enough. I think it would be a good perk if like it activated faster, where the headbutt is like, you're in the headbutt movement speed faster. Like you reach max, the perk could be better where activate it for like after 0.25 seconds, you're at max acceleration already, which could feel kind of like a speed creep, but like now you have the headbutt option. Because the worst is when you're trying to headbutt somebody and you don't have no speed, you just bonk into them, but you're not actually moving or doing anything. You're just dying. Juno, I think I always take Locked On, having a more uptime on more torpedoes, always solid. And then this was the big debate, which we've talked about many times. And then all high elo players, not all, but like majority of them think liftoff and the triple jump survivability is too good to pass up on. Survivability and better torpedo angles. That being said, and the one thing I disagree with on the high elo players is they say like faster blaster is like less DPS or healing, or maybe they didn't say that specifically, but they're just saying it's bad. I don't actually think it's that bad. I just think this is valued more in high elo. I actually think majority of players could benefit from faster blaster, make use of this more so than the extra jump options. But if you want to become a really good Juno, you should practice with triple jump and get used to surviving. This is one of those like, man, I'm playing in gold and like the tracer is not a threat, so you can greed for faster blaster. But I would encourage you guys to learn how to like, you know, if you're not getting jumped or pressured by like a really good tracer in gold specifically, practicing a nice like angle for the triple jump combo torpedo is super good. Faster blaster is about 30% DPS or healing increase in the moment that it is active. So it's not like nothing. The only part I disagree with, what I mentioned earlier. That being said, tying it to your survivability cooldown, it's not like you're intentionally doing it for... It sucks when you want to pocket someone and it feels like since you took the perk, you're incentivized to press your one glide boost survivability button just to get the extra healing on your teammate who needs it in that moment. Then you lost your survivability. So if you flip this in like, you know, a champion lobby, a tracer sees a Juno that takes faster blaster, she's pocketing an Orisa. Orisa's low, and she's like, fuck, okay. Because she took the perk, now she presses the glide boost to pocket the Orisa, and a good high elo tracer would be like, she just burned that one like movement ability, now you jump her, and now she's dead. The split here makes sense. I still think this is a better combo, and I think a lot of other Juno players in the bracket would think so, but this is still, I would say, more context dependent than some of the others. Okay, Kiriko. I play a lot of Kiriko. I have some opinions on this one. I take urgent care only if I have a Mauga. That's it. I don't even take it with Reinhardt anymore. They buffed the healing from 5 to 7 or something, the projectile speed. I forgot what they did to her, but you don't even need this anymore. Diminishing returns is probably the thing I would say. But other than that, I just only take it for like Mauga. And even then, I don't even bother because Fortune Teller is still really good. Despite them like buffing the healing rate, they didn't change the recovery time, so you're still always able to weave in 2 kunais in between your papers. 5 papers, 2 kunais. 5 papers, 2 kunais is the same as 5 kunais, 5 kunais, 5 kunais, 5 kunais. Or sorry, 5 papers, 5 papers, 5 papers. You can always weave in 2 kunais in between your stuff. So the fact that you can do that, and if you're a good Kiriko and they have a front to back tank, and you're always like hitting them in the body, you're getting way more extra Ofudas coming out every single time. But there, I'll see like a gold Kiriko with like 200 damage and 10,000 healing, and they never throw their kunai and they don't take angles. So like it's a pointless perk for a majority of Kiriko players. So I understand why they opt for urgent care, but I still think you should practice with Fortune Teller. And then Foxtrot, I personally take this. It was a 4-second movement speed. I think old Foxtrot was like 2 seconds, and arguably the other one was better. 4 seconds of movement speed, so good when I Suzu them to move around. That being said, this being 9% is surprising to me because I tried this one. I don't even think this is that bad either. If I need to save somebody, for example, right? TP to them, I Suzu, and depending on who I TP to, I might not need to move right away. So like I TP to them, Suzu, and then like if they're still not full, I can just launch a set of papers, and those first set of papers after TPing Suzu will benefit from that extra attack speed and reload speed for the first thing. It's a really good saving combo. So again, remember how I mentioned this would be for the Mauga? If I took this with Mauga, I would also take Ready Step with Mauga. This combo is kind of dirty in that one specific matchup, but majority of matchups, Fortune Teller, Foxtrot, I like. Okay, that's my opinion on Kiriko. Lifeweaver, haven't touched the hero. He's a bit better this season because they buffed him. Don't think he's still very good, but we'll just trust what people voted for, which is Dashing Escape Super Bloom. Lucio, Soundwave Rider versus Beat Drop. Yeah, I don't know if you necessarily need Beat Drop. I think most Lucios I know just take Soundwave Rider. Extra knockback and damage, super good. And then Noise Violation. They actually changed this, right? Oh no, they changed Accelerando in the patch notes. It says that. So you now gain 15% attack speed while Lucio's Speed Song is active on base, and it goes to 45% during amp. I think the old one was like 50% attack speed only while amp. So now it's only 45% in amp, but you have 15% like in the base, which is quite nice. So that being said, amping and making sure everyone's always in range if they like move ahead or fall behind is super good. I think still most prefer Noise Violation Soundwave. That being said, if you're playing DPS, flank Frogger Lucio, sure, go take Accelerando. Fuck your team. All right, Mercy, another hero that got some big changes, some base kit changes this season. What have we got? Angelic Resurrection versus Divine Momentum. I think what sucks is that Mercy players are all saying her movement got hit a little bit on the base kit because they added flash heal. So it kind of feels like you need to take a Divine Momentum to make up for that loss versus like, you know, Angelic Resurrection. If you're a good Mercy and you pick your reses at a good time anyways, you may not really need the overhealth. So you just take this to kind of still feel something. Feel like old Mercy as best as you can, if that makes any sense. So I think this is the pick you're supposed to go for. Most people have also voted here. And then why take Chain Boost when Flash Heal is now in your base kit? Double dose, extra burst healing from Flash Heal is inherently way more valuable in a team fight. The Chain Boost is not even going to be consistent where people are clumped enough that it works out in that way. So you just take double dose. Even though the base is reduced, I think if they're less than a half health, they heal more or something. So double dose, very good. Mizuki. I still take Exposed Soul 100% of the time. I don't even think this is like 5%, 10%. I've taken this a few times early on to experiment with him, and I'm convinced Exposed Soul is just too good to pass up. You chain any squishy, you now have instant lethality. It reminds me of Ana's Biotic headshot one. The extra 30% affects everything, including your melees. If I chain them into the next shot into like a melee or something, like it's so much damage. It's not even just for the tanks. Super good. The aura generation, like as long as you're active in a team fight, it should remain pretty high anyway, so you don't really need Wellspring. And then Resident Return, I think when I first did this OW perks last season, I was like, maybe Quick Step is the better one because of the move speed, super good. But I'm convinced Resident Return is actually like my preferred choice now that I've played like 50 hours of Mizuki. Quick Step specifically comp wise, but like then the early argument was like, well, he benefits from the movement speed, but I've always found that when I press my Katashido Return, I'm already so fast because you get like a 600% movement speed burst for like 0.1 seconds, and then you're already like the most value for you personally is the initial leap, which is already really good. You know what I mean? And if I'm not helping any teammates, then and like we're not playing a brawl, I don't take this. Resident Return, I think I didn't understand the math early on, but now the fact that it's your base is increased by 10 and it's additive based on multiple people. If I throw it onto like 3 people or one person that bounces twice and comes back to me, it's healing me specifically for like 70 now or something. Super good for self-sustain. So I like this one now. I don't touch Moira, but I do think it's Ethical Nourishment. Destruction's Divide is apparently bugged right now, where like the pure healing or pure damage means you have like no self-healing or something. I don't know if that's been fixed, but regardless, I think Ethical Nourishment is good. And then yeah, nobody's reversing the Biotic Orb. You chuck it and forget it. You're not like staring at it and seeing where it's going. So you just take Phantom Step. Another one where I've yapped about Wu Yang many times. My opinion on this is I think Overflow is still the superior perk. I'm going to vote this the other way. And I think Falling Rain is 100% take now. I think Overflow is 100% take over Balance. Balance was the better choice up until last season. And then ever since season 1, mid-season, and until now, I still think Overflow is much better because, I'll explain it for those who didn't watch the previous video. Season 1, Overwatch, February 2026, they nerfed Restorative Stream's passive healing from 30 HPS to 20 HPS. And then they buffed the active healing beam from like 50 to 60, no, 40 to 50. I don't remember the exact numbers. In any case, they flipped the numbers around in season 1. And if you're not paying attention to the perks, you wouldn't know because Balance was the meta pick all the way till 2 months ago. And because of that, because the passive healing is based on not a flat amount, 30% of it, of the base restorative stream, 30% of 20 is not that much. It's an extra 6 HP per second. Previously, it used to be 9 HPS when there was a 30 beam. But now it's a 20 passive restorative stream. And then the active beam got buffed where it's genuinely like as strong as a mercy beam. So the fact that you never run out of resource if you need to wave somebody and like pocket them with your active beam and you always reload, super good. And then with the global healing debuff as well, which every DPS passive where everybody gets less healing if they're being tagged, like the HPS for Balance is even less. It goes from 6 to like 4. Or something like that. 4 point whatever with decimals. It's extra 4 HP versus like, remember how we valued the active burst flash heal? Like the fact that your wave enhanced healing with Overflow active beam is like genuinely like a lifesaver for some tanks sometimes. It's so good. Ebb and Flow got nerfed enough, and I just think Falling Rain pressure with the extra burst and extra damage is just so good. If you just hit a single squishy, they're out of the fight. and like your orb doesn't have to even like hit them fully. If you just have one of the 3 hit, sometimes the splash and the other ones will still make it now, and it's just too good to pass up. It used to be like I'll sometimes take ebb and flow in 6v6. Now in 6v6, even with the extra tanks, I still think Falling Rain is just so good. It's too good to pass up. And then finally for Zenyatta, surprisingly, I take Ascendance over Discordant Repair. I actually think this is fine if a tank jumps me, but like other than that matchup, it's pretty hard. Like the 10% lifesteal, not that much. In a Tracer 1v1, I think I fought some Tracers. Bro, Discordant Repair heals me for like 17. She's 170. If I'm not killing her, I'm dealing less than the 100 and set. Like let's say for example, I hit 2 orbs on her, 120 damage. I heal 12 HP. 12 HP is not saving me against the Tracer ever. I think Ascendance for just more movement and survivability and all that fun stuff is just more important. Oh yeah, and then the global healing passive. Tracer's shooting me, for example, like in a tough matchup, like it's barely healing. Ascendance is so much better for just sneakiness and getting into better, like meaningful angles to swing fights. Yeah, so I think Discord Repair is not very good. Lifesteal isn't affected by global passive? That I didn't know. I can myth bust that actually. That's a good myth buster. We should add that in. I think you're right, but I'll do it for the sanity just to make sure it's clear. Okay, and the final one is the majors. I personally take dual harmony, especially if I have like people that are really slippery and like to like leave my LOS a lot. I find that like I don't actually ever full 5 orb charge as much as I would like, even with the extra orbs. I'm like actively shooting wherever I can. That being said, I don't think this one's that bad either. I think the majors specifically are like situationally pretty good in both ends, but I just think Discordant Repair is kind of noob bait. This one's like the Ascendance only. All right, that's my opinion on the perks. At the end of the day, pick whatever perks you want. This is the community's opinion. I offered my opinion, whether I agreed or not, and make your own choices, okay? Don't listen to any influencer. Play your own game. Okay, bye.